Everyone, welcome to Kats Creations on Friday night. I want to welcome you to my kitchen where we're going to create an amazing tropical floral wreath. And wow, I totally lost track of time. We're just sitting here having a conversation because Steve's back today. So welcome back, babe, from your trip. He's been on the extreme East Coast, Boston, Massachusetts, for a trip, and then you're leaving next week, right? Tuesday. He'll be going to Tahoe. So let me know if anyone's there.
Yeah, we've got a couple people. We've got Peggy Forbes. Carol says hi.
Hi, Carol. Hi, Peggy.
And that's all that's posted so far.
Okay.
Oh, Peggy said hi from Jacksonville. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Audrey.
Yeah, all those people in Florida. I don't think you're taking a trip to Florida anytime soon.
Hi, Jane.
So this is going to be pretty fun to me, guys. Kind of like laying it out, just kind of get a sense for how it's going to go, because this one will not have any signs. This one will not have any bows or ribbons. This is all just strictly floral. And I don't know if you saw my pictures from earlier today. I listed what we're going to basically be using tonight. Orchids, Hibiscus, Lilies, some Queen Anne's lace, fern, well, yeah, lots of greenery, and plumeria. Well, they're lilies, so daylilies, stargazer lilies, whatever. So this is going to be super fun to make. I have been wanting to make this for a while. Even when we went down to Shinoda about 2 weeks ago, we were looking for, like, I don't know, like a tiki sign or something we could kind of put in here, or just something that said like aloha or something. So it's hard to find. So I just figured, you know what? I don't think, have we ever done a wreath with no sign, no embellishments? No. Everything has always had a sign or embellishment in it. So this will be fun. We're going to be working off of an 18-inch grapevine that I got from Joann's. This one is what I'd call a loose weave grapevine, meaning it's not so tightly bound with a lot of branches, so it's very loose, which is going to be super easy for us to slide all the florals in. And knowing that we're not going to have a bow, you know, normally we have like a hand length space that determines for us this is where the bow is going to go, so you decorate up into that area. Well, we don't have that, so we're going to be saving our main focal point flowers for the very end, and then adding some final touches once we get that in and make sure that, you know, it looks good from the side, the top, the bottom, the inside. So I guess we're ready to go, right?
Yeah, a lot of other gals are logging in. Denise, Kathy, Nancy, Sharon, Jean, Janet, Elaine, Shelley, Scarlett, Kathy, Simone, Liz, Gail. Yep.
Well, welcome to Friday. So right before the big Memorial Day weekend. Well, that's next weekend. So this will be kind of fun. So what I'm going to do is the same thing that I always do. I'm going to kind of go around. I think I got about 3/4 of the way done with cleaning my grapevine, so it looks fairly good. Because it's going to be covered 3/4 of the way with floral, I don't have to get really picky about, you know, certain things that might pop up, because we'll be able to kind of not so much hide it, but we're going to use some of those branches that might stick out or the little curlicues on the grapevine to kind of help us hold certain things in place. So I'm super, super excited to do this one. So did I say super excited enough?
Twice.
Super, super excited. There are not that many of them out, because I'm sure people go, well, how do you determine pricing? Number one, kind of have a ballpark in my head of how much it costs with florals and time and labor. But then you also want to go and look at what is everyone else selling them for. So believe it or not, I think the least expensive one listed on Etsy, and I think there was only 4, was $125. They go as high as $235, $259 for all just the florals. I think there's one that has like a little tiki guy in it, and that's pretty much about it. There really isn't an awful lot out there, so that's kind of fun in that if a customer is searching for it, hopefully I have picked enough keywords that they'll be able to find this one. So let us begin. Kind of looking to see which way I want it to go. I'm kind of okay with this one. The only tools you're going to need is glue skillet to glue all your stuff together, maybe some floral wire to force things into the position we want and not in the way that it wants it to go, wire cutters, needle nose, and scissors just to kind of trim up any things that need to be trimmed up. So like I always tell you, we lay down a base of greenery. And if you guys notice, when I do my grapevines, it never changes. I always start with the base. Just like when we're doing our deco mesh wreaths, we're always starting with our base. So I'm gonna lay in these green ferns. I got these from Hobby Lobby, and I believe starting on Monday, their floral's back on sale. It never fails. Whenever I want to do my florals, I always pick them on the week that it's ribbon and deco mesh day, so that you can't get them all at half off.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's like either A, it had been sitting in the floral bin a long time. That one was pretty hard. So the nice thing about these ferns is they're wired. So we're just gonna kind of arc them around. There's only 3 on a branch. So I'm gonna kind of position them like so. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut off all the excess. I might keep this one, it's a little thick. Just do my glue. Yeah, the glue stir stick. So I'm gonna kind of have this fan like so.
Any new gals out there, let us know where you're from and we'll welcome you.
Absolutely. Love it when we have new people.
There's a Kitty Smith that says, hello everyone, I love grapevines and floral.
She's in, I think she's in our private group.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great last name.
I know, right? We have a lot of people with the Smiths. No relation.
Yeah. Gail said she should have stopped a sign for you when she was in Hawaii in December.
Right?
Hi Julie, hi Dawn, hi Pam, Brenda.
Maybe that's
Kathy.
just a sign we need to take a trip. Like someplace tropical. So I'm gonna set this one.
And not come back.
You won't want to come back. He'll just be like, I'll find a job over there in Hawaii. I don't think we'd like it there. I mean, to visit, yes, but I think after a while, island life would become a little challenging.
Slowed pace.
Not slow to space.
That's okay by me.
Not that. I meant, like, you would run out of things to do because there's not much to do there. So I think what I'm going to do with the fern, because there's a couple pieces I want them to fan a specific way, so I'm just going to take my 26 gauge wire and I'm going to cut these and get some of my bigger pieces just to kind of stay where I want them to stay. Because you can glue the base in, but it's a little pointless to glue everything else in. What's wrong?
There's still guys jumping on saying hi.
Okay.
Ashley said, I missed the beginning. Do you make your own grapevine wreaths?
No.
No.
I'm not that talented. Oh my gosh, what was it? Oh, we went to lunch today and somebody had saw something that I had pinned to, it was just on a Pinterest pin and I was like, oh, this is super cute. I hope someone will make this. And it was like just a little crochet sunflower. And then the lady we went to lunch with was like, are you making those now? I was like, God, no. She goes, I was thinking, you do wreaths and you do this and you do that. I'm thinking, when's she going to have time to do all that? Hey, I'm not.
Thank you for sharing, Pam. Appreciate it.
Yes, public group, feel free to share away. It's easier to find on your timeline later when you're ready to do your own. Like I said, these would be good for summer because you have all your beach parties, end of the year graduations, people who are doing luau themed birthday parties. This would be super cute for that.
So actually, no, she doesn't make her own grapevine wreaths, but she does get them from Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, this one came from Joann's because I had stopped over to Hobby Lobby to look and see what Hobby Lobby had in. Theirs were pretty not nice.
And I will go ahead and zoom in for that.
Okay, so I'm just like anchoring my ferns in because I want like the ones on the inside just to kind of fan down. You want movement. You don't want them just to lay there. So let me sit here and do this. So I kind of have, this also helps you determine your start and stop points. Where are you going to go? How far are you going to go? So it's going to kind of go like that for you guys who can see. And I do have more fern if I want to come in. I actually bought this bunch at Michael's. Well, Michael's had it on sale. I think I'm going to snag this piece though. I like the contrast. It's a little darker. Michael's had these on sale 40% off, I think. So this was $15 bush of fern. So I kind of like it because it gives me lots more picks to play with. So I'm just going to kind of look at it and see if I like that, which I do. I'm going to cut some of this back because I don't need it quite that long. It'll save space for everything else I need. So getting different colors and different textures in will be a good thing.
Kathy asked, Kat, the supplies you bought from the one lady last year, how much do you have left?
A lot. A lot.
Probably at least half.
Yeah. I mean, I sold off a good chunk. I think I sold off like 6 bins full. But there's stuff that as I'm going through it, I'm like, oh, that'd be a cute wreath to make. I'll save that.
For the most part, you've already made your money back.
Oh, yeah.
And then some.
Yeah. Because I think it ended up costing me, what did we say it was? $2 grand? I think that's what it cost.
2, yeah, I think so.
So this, okay, now this fern I like a lot because it's wired all the way down. So I can actually really create some good movement on it. I know Gail tells me I need to go through and have another clearance sale on stuff that maybe I said I was going to make and haven't. I think I have it just about for every holiday, every theme, except there was no tiki stuff. Now watch, I'll go through a bin and find all the tiki stuff. Okay, so I'm kind of done with that. When I went to Shinoda, I was able to buy these, which are called Monstera, Monstera. So largely, which I cannot use, but it was so cool to have, this is what it is.
Remember, I'm zoomed in.
Oh.
Okay, I'm zoomed out.
So these, obviously way too big, but it'd be super cute to do like a wall hanging with this. But
yeah,
we found smaller versions, which are easier, like these versions. Again, these are all wired all the way down. So we're going to be adding these, and they're just going to go in a bunch of random places along with our fern. Because Hawaii does have forests.
They do have those tropical flowers, the leaves, yeah.
Yeah, but they also have the ferns too. Like when we took the road to Hana, they had forests up there, which is kind of nice. So we're just going to kind of here and there add these all in.
Elaine said, I have to make a grapevine wreath this weekend. Glad to see this tonight. Do your review.
So always start with your base, because
it's all about the base.
Kind of, in a certain sense. Take these glue threads out.
Kathy Knapp said the hardest part of making a wreath for her is the bow. Cannot make them look good. Well, good news on this one is there's no bow.
There's no bow. So it's all just floral. So if you've watched, I've just laid down a really good layer of the fern, and now what I'm coming in is kind of zigzagging the Monstera, like here, 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 I'm going to come in here because these are wired all the way down. I can glue them as I need them. And I think this whole little plant thing was like $7.50 to do this. And really the only thing I bought it for was this wreath, because I think that these make it look tropical and not so foresty.
Jenna said, I need to go to Shinoda with you.
Do you live out here in Southern California?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think she was one that might be in Corona.
I am.
Jenna, where are you from? What city are you from?
I am so.
Obviously, she is. If
in Southern California.
Yeah, I think the last time we talked about it too, she said something too.
Well, there's a couple people that said, "Oh, next time you go, let me know," and so I posted it on my Facebook page when I was able to convince Steve to go. I'm like, "Hey, if you guys are interested, we're doing Shinoda field trip."
Oh, so. She's from Canyon Lake.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Let's go. Field trip. There's so much stuff to...
Jean asked what was a single big leaf called.
Oh, Monstera.
It's still a Monstera, it's just a big leaf.
It's a bigger leaf. Yeah, you can buy them per leaf.
Different sizes.
Yeah, which obviously that one's a little way too big for me to use in this. If I would have gotten a bigger grapevine, I could have probably used it, but I didn't. I don't want to go too big. So I'm using about 4 or 5 of them on the top and the bottom. What are you giggling about?
Thank you for sharing, Elaine. And you gals, it's a misnomer. It's kind of a myth. You can actually say thank you for sharing.
Yes, you can. I have been on social media. There's a site called Social Media Marketing or something like that. And I've been learning about all the things that Facebook is going to be implementing. The one thing that they're really coming down hard on is things called clickbait, which is, and I'm sure you guys have seen it in your Facebook news feed, something that goes along the lines of this celebrity, you know, like what these 10 celebrities had done, I don't know. Something that would just drive you to click on it, or you'd never believe these mistakes that people made when renting out their homes, and then you're like interested, so you click on it, and then sometimes it goes nowhere. Sometimes you get those little spam ads that say, congratulations, you're a winner. That's what Facebook is coming down on. They're called clickbait ads. They make it seem like you're going to get something, but then you're not getting anything.
Yeah, Jenna, they are wholesale, so you would need your wholesale license, right?
Or seller's permit.
Or seller's permit. So.
Yeah. So I'm adding a little bit more to the top. I don't know why, but I am. Just adding a couple more pieces. Did you zoom back in?
Yeah.
Or you zoom back out?
I'm zooming back in.
So I think I'm going to stop there with the greenery, and here's the reason why. Because if you look at every single piece, well, except for the orchids, it all comes with its own greenery attached. Like the hibiscus come with their own. This one didn't either. It's a different color orchid. But most of them do come with their own greenery, so we're going to incorporate that on top of what we already do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my white orchid. This came from Michael's. Again, Michael's just had some big huge sale where they gave you like 40% off your total price, including sale items. So that helps. Unfortunately, I didn't go that day. So I have all my stuff marked. So we're going to come in here with the orchid, and you guys will slowly start to see it all come together. So I'm going to arch this around just the same way. I like the fact that the pods are out here, so that's perfect. I have my heavy duty wire cutters.
Kathy Knapp, it was around 70 out here today. 70 some degrees out here.
Yeah.
Nice spring day.
It's been weird. We were supposed to get rain, and the rain never came. So I think I'm just gonna set that in there.
Annette, we are up in Victorville, California, which is about probably an hour and a half, 2 hours north of Canyon Lake.
Oh, did you ask where?
Yeah, somebody else asked where we're located.
Yeah, we are up in the high desert. We're up in the nosebleed section of the desert.
Hey, gals.
So again, I want my little orchid pods to stay where I need them to be. So I'm going to wire these in because I want them to stay where I need for them to stay. So that's those. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to add these. They're like a dusty rose kind, and these ones are really super pretty because they have the lifelike texture. So these are more of, well, these ones still do kind of, but they're not, you know which ones I'm talking about? Like Hobby Lobby sells ones that are very realistic, and then there's other ones that aren't so real. They look more fake. So I'm just going to add these up in here because the color theme for me is all about pink, white, cream, different shades of the pink. So we're going to wire this guy in as well.
I could have just stuck it in, huh?
If I stick it in, it's going to go, like, this is where my big center flowers are going to be. And I don't want to have so much stuff packed in here that I can't get my focal flowers in. So I'm just going to wire this one in because it's just intermixed with all the other orchids, and then we're going to come in and add more. So now we're going to go down to the bottom. Down here we're going to add this one. So this one's going to lay down in here. We'll pull our pods out a little bit further. So you can take these ones, unlike the ones from Hobby Lobby, you can actually move the orchids around where you want them to go. And this one I will stick in.
Yeah, Annette said she's just south of San Francisco in San Mateo.
Oh, okay.
I've been there. I went out to a mall last year there.
We've been out there quite a few times. So again, this is great to anchor it here, but there's no anchor point here. So this is where coming in with the thinner floral wire and securing it down so that it lays closer to your base is good. So I just stick my fingers under and grab a couple of the branches, feed your floral wire through. I try to do it close to the base of the flowers so that when the petals lay back down, you don't see the floral wire. And then this way it'll help secure that even more. So far, and we always want our flowers to have movement. So far, this is what it looks like for you guys.
Yep.
Okay. So now, I'm going to come in and add, where's it? I think I'm adding hibiscus next. So I had already cut all these apart. They come in a bunch like this. So these came from Michael's just like this. And then there's ones like this. They have peach, they have bright red, but I got the pink and white because that was the theme we were going with. So, for some reason, Michael's has great floral this year. Better than Hobby Lobby.
Amber said, I can't wait to see this finished. Already love it. What do you use for your glue dish, if you don't mind me asking?
I use Gorilla Glue. Is that what you're asking?
I think the glue dish is the Sure Bonder glue skillet, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they don't make them anymore.
Yeah, they make new versions of them, a little bit smaller.
So on these ones, there's no way to push your floral up. They just like attach them way down on the bottom, which is not helping me at all. And obviously I don't need this much of a stick. So I'll cut all that excess off. Put my hibiscus back together. And then we can add it in here and bring some of that white down in with our orchids.
Are you gluing it in?
I'm looking at it first. Yeah. You guys know me, I like look until I'm happy. And then I go back and destroy the whole thing and then put it all back together, but I'm not gonna do that here.
Hi Deborah, oh I'm so sorry, hope he's feeling better.
What's up?
You just said, hi everyone, I'm late, my dad was taken to the hospital, hope he's doing okay.
Man, it just seems like there's health issues everywhere.
Yeah, Amber, the glue skillet is a Sherbonder glue skillet. It's a 7-inch.
7-inch, but they don't make them anymore.
Yeah, they make different types. You can find them on Amazon.
I think there's some that people have found. They're like a grain skillet, and they've been able to get that one.
Smaller one.
Yeah, there's a couple we were gonna pick up when we were at Shinoda, but they were like $43. But I wasn't sure how big they were. So because I have the orchids up on top, I'm adding the white hibiscus to the bottom for now. I'll add some white and pink up at the top too, but bringing that color down. But see how I'm saying like the greenery isn't up here with this? So I'm just cutting them down and just kind of adding them to the side, to the tops. Because I think we forget about that quite a bit, is we don't think about the sides. Like what happens when people are walking up to your wreath and they see the sides and all you have is the top of your wreath done. So we'll add some more up here.
So I'll ask all the gals out there, please share. We'd appreciate it since this is the public group.
Well, and you're giving them the reason why you want them to share it. It's not just share so that we're getting lots more views. No, honestly, the reason why we ask you to share is if you like the design and you want to make this, and then you attempt to go back on my page and find it. Sometimes it's really hard to find things because it kind of gets buried.
So you can go back to your page where you shared it on and find it there.
And then it's easier for you to find. So I'm pretty picky about the ones I like. Let's look at the top.
Hi Kate. Kate's on.
Hi Kate.
It's our daughter.
So we're going to add another one to the bottom. So I'm adding some to the side. And add one down in here.
Kate's clicking love like crazy.
There we go. Let's move some of this, the leaves to the bottom. And we'll pull it down to the center. And then I'll probably, I'm going to add some pink now. Again, I wish these could be pulled up because I'm like, I really want them up closer, but they're not. Okay. So we'll add some pink hibiscus. So we just have a little bit of everything. It's starting to look very Hawaiian-esque. What do you guys think so far?
Oh, and I said this is beautiful.
Thank you.
Teresa says I love this floral wreath. Teresa, you said Kohl's has a 6-inch one on sale for $19.54.
Is it just a regular electric
It's probably
skillet,
just
though?
a regular electric skillet. Yeah.
But you can get those to work too.
Yeah. Just have to be careful of the temperatures.
Yeah, you always want to make sure that it has a
It's
way for
adjustable.
you to be able to adjust the temperatures, but then I think you'll be okay. So we're adding some bigger focal point flowers to the back end of this now. So even the ones that I'm not gonna use, like all these greens, you just keep them, because sometimes you can just kind of create your own and add your, I even tried to take them off and slide them up the stem, but it won't work that way.
So Melody, yes, the glue skillet I have off screen, so you can see once she cuts the stem, she takes the stem and sticks it in the glue skillet pretty generously, puts a lot of glue on it, and then sticks it in the grapevine.
Let's see. Let me see if I can move this down. Because you can't put your glue skillet on top of your mat because it'll warp and melt the heat from the bottom of it. And I don't know what temperature it's set at, but it's kind of like
3/4.
Yeah, 3/4 of the way to being at max. So hopefully that'll help.
Awesome, Teresa. I mean, for that price, you might as well try it.
Yeah.
She says it has a temperature gauge.
Good.
And it is a Brentwood.
I would try it. You know, if it doesn't work, you're only out $20 rather than, you know, trying for something a bit bigger and then it doesn't work and then you're out even more. Just making sure I'm pulling all my glue threads. As you can see, I'm kind of building to a climax point here so that when we add in, here's my focal point flowers, not that. Those are my fillers. These are my focal point flowers. So these are Stargazer lilies. So these are actually gonna sit in here. These are my bow, if you think about it that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and strip the leaves off because they're not on anything anyway. Go ahead and take all these down. So they're just, that one's actually on, the other one's just popped off. Not even like the one on the have been made. These also came from Michael's. Like I said, Michael's had the bomb for flowers this year. So probably gonna face one way, the other way, somewhat like that. So we're just gonna go ahead.
I thought you were gonna leave it on the stem.
The whole stem?
Yeah, you just cut the stem down and place it on. I thought it looked beautiful that way.
No. Nope. Not like that. That would just be like, did you see how big that stem is?
No, but I meant cut it short.
You wanted me to leave it with all the stuff in there? No. No. So we're gonna come in and really play with it. Let's see. Do you want to kind of try to see where I want to put the little...
I'd probably say up there, yeah.
Yeah. I found the perfect spot for it.
Melanie, well, the glue skillet holds glue sticks. You just take up your Gorilla Glue sticks and you just cut them in pieces, or you can just drop it in there and give it about 10 minutes and it'll completely melt.
Yeah, you want to know what I do? Watch. This is what I do before my lives. If I notice that my glue skillet's getting a little low, you take your glue stick. You can throw the whole glue stick in there if you have time to wait for it to melt, but if you don't, I just do this and cut them into little pieces with my wire cutters. This is why I don't invest in super expensive wire cutters. And then you just wait for it to melt. But then you're good. So now we're gonna take all of our greenery that I just cut off. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm gonna add these florals to the bottom of my lilies, because they weren't really on a stick.
Congratulations, Teresa. She said, hi everyone. I have great news. I would just like to share that I've been unemployed for 4 years and I finally got a job as a receptionist, personal assistant for a marina. This was my first week and I'm exhausted, but happy exhausted.
Oh, yay.
Congrats.
Definitely. Let's spin this around so I can come in here and add these two. the base of my lilies. Okay. I'll add a couple more. And this is where it may be easier if you had your pick machine, because then you could just make picks for like the leaves that don't really have a stem per se. You could use a pick machine, but I always go with the standard that not everybody has one. So let's teach how to make it without one.
Melanie and Gail said, love the Stargazer lilies.
Don't this, like, they totally make this wreath. So now I've just gone in and added the orchid leaves. And then I'm going to come back in and add a couple more of these to the inside right in here.
Hi Deborah, hi Elvina, hi Mary.
This is why I like a glue skillet, because every time you find extra pieces of glue, like these from dragging them across, you can just pick them up, you just throw them back in the pot, and then they just remelt. Just like so. And it actually dries pretty quick. I think the temperature that I have it on is like the perfect temperature. Not enough to burn. Like if you were to get it stuck on your hands, like I have a couple times, but it's not enough to be like, oh.
It's hot, but it's not burning hot.
Right.
Yeah.
So pulling all these off.
Amber said, seriously beautiful. I love all the variety and dimension.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, I have a couple pieces of this. I don't know what it's called. I just call it the greenery with the white tip. And I have like just 2 pieces of it left from one of my other florals. So it's just to bring, this is now where you come in with your filler flowers and just add those little
touches.
Yep. Just like places where you might see little gaps. So you guys can kind of see what that one did. So I'm going to do the same.
Melanie said she can't wait until her lilies bloom, so she's got lilies.
Ours are blooming right now, which is amazing.
Up front?
Yes, our Stargazer lilies are
Ours are all
blooming.
yellow. What else if we had different colors?
If we had what?
Different colors.
Yeah. We'd have to get them. But they're only a springtime bloom, so
Yeah.
while they stay green the rest of the year, they don't bloom during summer, well, the summer that's here, where it's really super hot. So.
Libby said, makes me want to go to Hawaii.
Doesn't it? I swear, I was thinking that. Steve doesn't know that. He's like, you were? You could go to Hawaii? So I'm just kind of looking at if I add, and I think, see, here's the difference between if you just add some smaller white filler flowers, it just kind of accentuates the empty spots between the flowers. So we're going to come in and add this one here. So I was just kind of playing with the placement, like right in between. It's just a dark spot. So it's kind of like photography, only in this case we're taking a little bit lighter flowers. And they're, you know, they're greenery that goes with that, so it's a little bit different color green and adding some highlights and lowlights. So this one, the Queen Anne's lace, you can actually take the greenery and push it up. So I'm just trying to.
Yep, Karen, that is Queen Anne's lace.
Yes. You guys know big fan. Queen Anne's lace for filler. So I'm just bringing them in.
But you don't want to overpower the hibiscus or anything else.
Yes. Right? So I'm just looking for places where there's some holes. some darkness. So it's just a matter sometimes of playing with it, pulling the greenery.
I see a hole up here on this side.
I'm sure you see a hole. I'm not there yet. Okay, go this way. But I don't want to cover everything. Okay, I'm going to take this leaf out because it's just not cooperating. But I will go ahead and attach that right to where I was. And I love the grapevine because you can grab hold and really just push it where you need it to be. And then we can kind of pull the orchids out. There we go. So there's that. Where was your hole?
Between
right
the two, yeah, white hibiscus.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. See, we're right on the same path. So we'll see how this one works out with a double leaf. Sometimes I just take the second leaf off and just save it. There we go. Yeah, I agree. I concur. Highly technical term.
Hi, Kathy.
So again, pulling the leaves out of the way of the floral.
And you are almost done.
I am almost done. See, Steve knows now. He's like, hey, I can tell when she's just about finished. I think I'll add one more piece. Looking for which one I like the best.
Any questions out there?
Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Ugh. Yeah, that's where I want it to go. Okay. We're just about done. Definitely, okay, couple things to address, which is, this is where I look at my wreath all the way around, inside, outside. There's all the glue. Pulling it. Making sure that no matter which way you look at it, there's only one spot I see. So if you were to look, this is what I see is right in here. I can actually see the grapevine in here. Mm-hmm. So this is where I'm going to come in and take this Monstera leaf, kind of arc it down. We'll add some glue. There we go. This way, when your customer's looking at it from all different vantage points, you're kind of seeing some depth. Ooh, the last thing I forgot. Do you remember what I forgot?
No.
No?
Oh, the leaves, yeah.
Yeah, these are the leaves from the orchid. So,
those are from the lilies, aren't they?
from the orchids.
Oh.
So we're going to come in and add these right in to our mix. Again, different types of greenery. Oops. Just trying to remember. It's like I had this picture of exactly how everything was going to lay, kind of. Okay, I remember now. So these are nice too because they're wired all the way down, just like this. So you can take them and really arch them if you want for some movement. I like totally forgot these. Otherwise I'd be like, oh look, I totally forgot to put these in. I'll put them in afterwards. This just kind of gives you that spray effect. You don't have to put them in, but when I did it, I liked the way it looked. Couple more, and then we're done. See, I added this one.
Just if you're on Wi-Fi, it could be Facebook plus your Wi-Fi, so
Facebook
just try to log out and log back in.
A royal pain lately. It has, I've watched so many lives this week, just people getting booted off Facebook, but since we're plugged directly in to our Wi-Fi source, we shouldn't have an issue with it. Okay. Trying to make sure I'm hitting the glue in there. Okay. That's it. We're done. So, let me show you what it looks like.
You can hold it up for everybody.
Yeah, I will. It'll look better when it's on the door because you can see it up against a white backdrop, but as I pull all the glue off, and see, even if you look at the back, there's no twigs sticking out. So there's nothing I have to go back in and trim. But what do you guys think? There we go. It's all done.
Yep.
Short, sweet, just like it should be. Any questions you have? This just
gorgeous.
It just goes to show that you don't always need to have a bow or sign on everything. I mean, I think if you found a super cute aloha sign, you could put one right here. That would be kind of cute, just as long as it wasn't too big, because then it looks like you're trying to fill everything. That's pretty much about it.
Hi, Mariana. Sam said, beautiful, love it. Karen gave it a thumbs up. Maricel said, that's already sold, Kat. Wow.
What?
I don't know. She might have just said it.
Oh, I was like, oh, I don't know. You never know. So, that's it. So you can pick a wide variety. So literally, when I was at Michael's picking these out, I went into Michael's for Greenery. Came out with, this was the only Greenery I bought at Michael's. I immediately saw these, so I picked these up. Obviously the plumeria, which I didn't use, but you can. You could use these as cute little phyllo flowers. These would look cute in there too. looking.
Elaine said tropically awesome.
Tropic.
Teresa said so radiant.
See, I don't think you have to have everything.
Teresa said bloom-tastic.
Oh God, here we go again. So yeah, see, like you can add little pieces of plumeria. If you're gonna go, if you look at the way it's done, everything feathers out to a point. So you don't want to have your floral come all the way out here and stop. This is where having your greenery just kind of feather out to the side, and then if you notice, everything's getting bigger as we go towards the back, and then your focal point flowers there if you're not going to use a bow. But then you come back in and you add all your fun stuff and just fill in those little dark spaces. I like if you can do a light and a dark kind of green, because then it kind of gives depth and light to your, it gives it life.
Mm-hmm.
So
Brenda asked what's the price point on this?
this one is, I want to say it's $95 because floral. You guys know about florals. Florals are expensive. So, yeah. But, I mean, it would look super cute on a back patio when you're doing a beach luau kind of thing. If you were celebrating somebody's wedding and they were coming back from Hawaii, that might be like a nice little gift for them to help them remember their honeymoon. So
And it's $95 without shipping, so shipping.
yeah,
is
whatever
not free.
shipping is. If it's local, it's like only like $12.
Yeah.
So, but that would be like people here in California. It's weird, up to mid-Texas on the south side. If you go to Oregon and Washington,
Yep.
it like hits that different zone rate. So, but that's about it. I did it. We have a tropical floral wreath. Sunday, private group. We are doing Woodland Fairy. Can you do me a favor and go into my craft room? There's a little white box sitting on the little bookcase thing. You'll see it sitting on a scale. I'll show you what we're going to be using. This is the first wreath that I'm going into partnership with a vendor to create a more personalized wreath for people and for little girls. It's always going to be about fairies, right? And a lot of people do fairy gardens, but those are outside. Sometimes they make the little fairy garden that they can keep inside. But I thought, wouldn't it be cool if in a little girl's room you could have, and I'm sure you guys remember, maybe about a year ago we did like a woodland forest wreath. We did it with a lot of fern, a lot of different kind of like
Moss, didn't know, stuff like that.
yeah, it was like, what is it, moss. We did a light green hydrangea. So we brought all these elements of the forest into a grapevine wreath, and then we had a little lighted mason jar that you could turn on. It was fairy lights. But I thought, how cool would that be if you could incorporate a little fairy? And so my daughter, when she saw that wreath, it was the only one that she was actually really tempted to buy. So I'm actually going to be making it for her. So we're going to do Woodland Fairy Part 2. But this time, this is what I was able to get created. I have this vendor who makes little fairies or mermaids based on your preference. So my daughter had at one time, this was before she got her haircut, she had really long blonde hair, and she loves Tinkerbell. So we're going to be taking her, and she's going to be the theme around how the entire wreath is created. So now when people want a fairy wreath done, I'll be able to say, would you like it personalized? Would you like some fairies custom designed just for your daughter, your granddaughter, whatever? And we can incorporate in the wreath. And then they can have the wreath as like a nightlight kind of thing. So she's super, super cute. Can't wait to make her. But that's what we're making Sunday night.
And you can, like you said, you can customize the colors, the hair, the color. What is she making with again? Remember, it's like yarn and something else.
She does them with all kinds of stuff.
Flower petals.
Yeah, this is how I got the idea. So I have one sitting up here. So this is my color changing fairy.
Simone, yes, the product list will be in the private group.
Yes. So this is what was my inspiration. I actually found this one on her website. This one's called the Color Changing Fairy. And it's because it's painted with like the iridescent, like you guys have seen the ribbon where it turns purple, blue, or green depending upon how the light is hitting. But I thought, how cool would that be if you could take these, customize them to hair color. I don't like to do the faces, but hair color, and you know, if you don't want to do woodland, you could do I don't know, like a regular garden with more flowers, and then you can incorporate a whole bunch of other things in it. So that's what
it looks black, but when you turn it, it's got
Yeah.
colors of teal and purple and
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but it's blue, green, and purple. So super cute. So I just had to say, I need you to make one without the legs, without the base on it.
yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing on Sunday. So if you guys want to join the private group, you guys want to get in on all the other fun stuff that we're making, go to my website. It's KatsCreationsN, the letter N, more.com, and then scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll see Kats Creations private group. It'll give you a link to sign up, and then you'll request to join the Facebook group. It's $17 a month, but we do 4 business classes a month, and now we've moved into 4 tutorials a month, so you get quite a bit. So it's up to you.
Plus you get all the product list on every wreath she puts on.
Yeah, like
her
all the
public
SKU
groups.
numbers and where I got it from, they're all on a list. You can print it off and then go shopping.
Everybody said love it. Kim said, is there a price point on the fairies? On the little fairies?
On how much the fairies are,
Yeah.
it depends on how extensive you want them to be. Like obviously this one would be more than the other one because she has the crown and all the other stuff, but that's just a partnership that I'm working with. You gotta find people and work together and collaborate and say, hey, I can make the wreath, can you design the fairies?
Yep.
So it's kind of cool.
Tracy, the lives on Sunday are always at 5 p.m. Pacific.
And even if you can't make it, they're always recorded. And here's an extra bonus about the private group is I've done 95 videos in the public group. This would be 96. And there's at least 80 videos plus in the private group that you can have access to. So everything that I've done from February of last year to current, you have access to, as well as all the material lists for public and private group. So it's quite a bit. All right, everyone, well, have a great weekend. Private group, I'll see you Sunday at 5. Have a great weekend, everyone, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.